Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So yesterday I did a look with a purple bright lip. Great, loved it, but what I really liked is how my skin looked. Now this is kind of like gonna be no makeup but very makeup look. At the same time, glowy skin, healthy skin, and kind of how, if you have texture, which I do, if you have dry skin, which I do, here's a few tips or tricks. Just see what I'm doing, okay? I'm gonna do a lot of weird things. So I'm always like trying a lot of, not just products, but like methods to use them and mixing things and different steps and all of the above. So I like to be very creative with my stuff. So excuse my wet hair. And by the way, I just discovered my new favorite book. It's by Dr. Seuss, Pizza Pizza. It's amazing. So it's so good. All right, either way, so I'll just get started. So I did my skincare, but this is what I usually do. Again, I'm really dry, so I do not have anything that is mattifying, not in terms of finishing sprays or primers, anything like that. I just don't use that. If you can see my pores, God bless, see my pores, I have them, I'm fine with it. It's fine. So not concerned about having pores. But the hydrating mist that I really love right now is Fixie Hydrating Milky Mist. This is really nice. It smells amazing. So I use them before and after. So first I go with this, just to kind of refresh my skin. So I don't like going on dry skin with dry brushes, dry. I'm dry enough. Then there's this one from NYX, Honey Do Me Up. Sometimes I just use it as a serum on its own. It has actually really good ingredients. And it's very, like, I love these kind of textures. It's very slimy. I don't know if you can tell, but it is. So I just kind of go straight on my skin. It is very slimy, but I do enjoy that. It really plumps, hydrates. It's sticky for a bit, but it really soaks in the skin, and that's about it. Kind of leaves it very nice and hydrated and plump. And you can use that even if you're oily or normal skin. I feel like it's really good. If you want something mattifying or pore filling, just go right after that. But it's just really good to start with that kind of spray and this one. And then if you want to finish with something else, that's fine. But I was finished with the same. But if you have a different skin type, you can always have this as your starting point. Then I'm going to go with the e.l.f. primer. I really like this one. Same thing. It's very hydrating. But I also think this can be used by anyone because on one hand, it's thick, but it's not, it doesn't leave your skin greasy on no means. And it's like hydrating, but I don't know. It's very different. You definitely want to kind of press it in. It is more of a thicker consistency. Again, some people like that, some people don't. I really do like that. All right, so priming for the skin is done. So I'm just gonna prime my eyelids real quick. Where's my little brush? So I'm just gonna go with Painterly by MAC. I'm gonna use this kind of brush. I really like that, just applies everything real fast. All right. And this one does stay more dewy through the entire time, this because it's not a real primer. People use it to prime, but it's not a primer. It's more like a pot eyeshadow, just to make sure everything is blended. All right, good enough for me. So this one, I love this product. I would recommend this to any person, no matter what your age, skin type is. Everybody can use it and enjoy this one. This is from First Aid Beauty, Eye Duty Therapy Remedy, Triple Remedy. Fair to medium. So this one is, it's a not very hydrating, but it's a hydrating eye cream, but it has that salmon tint, okay? But I find that a lot of under eye correctors, the salmon types, kind of want to shake it first. It's really liquidy. So a lot of them, I find them, no matter what, they're more on that thicker, drier side, and I'm already dry and I don't like more. Like, I don't need more, especially for the under eye. And right now, no matter what I do with my skincare, with my priming, or what concealers, doesn't matter what I use right now, once I have makeup on and my face moves, it creates wrinkles, especially around my eyes. So Right now, it's kind of not something I can avoid. So this one, it just hydrates that area, and I already had like eye cream underneath, but the more the better for me right now. And it lightens it up. Like sometimes I just use it on its own if I don't feel like having like a makeup day, but I will still use this. I love traveling with it because, you know, sometimes even if it's not like necessarily a jet lag, but just different area, different climate, sometimes you get like that darkness under the eyes, and this, I love it. Okay. All right. So we're good with all that. Next step. What is our next step? Okay. So I mixed a lot. Like I said, I like mixing stuff. So I mixed these two foundations. This is from NYX Born to Glow. This is from Revlon, the Candid Glow one. They're great separately. This one I feel is very light coverage, like really, really light. None of them are actually kind of that dewy, very dewy. They're kind of, in my opinion, on my skin, they end up more on the satin side. Maybe a little bit more. And 3 drops of this. So this one is Cover FX, the illuminating drop. So just 3 of those. So it's going to give you that nice glow. Okay. We're working for that glow. So I mixed everything. I have a little palette. This kind of looks like this, right? So now I'm going to take a brush. I'm just going to go with a regular IT Cosmetics. Now, you know setting sprays that when you use them, you feel like you've been just waterboarded? Okay. I don't like that sensation. Therefore, as a setting spray, it will not work for me. So, but I still use them to like wet brushes and so forth, or kind of refresh my skin. So this one is from NYX. Bear with me. It's a waterboarding product, okay? It just... don't like it to set. But like I said, I don't like going with dry brushes. I'm already dry. My skin is irritated. The less, the better. I know you can use a beauty blender, but I don't want to. Don't feel like it today. All right, I'll just pick up whatever is left and kind of apply all over. Sometimes I feel like I don't even spend that much time blending. I don't know why. Like, I think I'm just kind of like... couldn't be bothered with too much blending of things. I don't know. And eventually kind of all works out. I don't know. Maybe because the products are just never full coverage. Like, I never do full coverage. I don't do mattes. I don't do full coverage. I go from light, like a tinted moisturizer, to medium. And the other thing, like, I mix a lot of things, so I can always like add some moisturizer, and you can share the product. How much do you use it? Do you use a beauty blender? Do you use a brush? And I feel like different foundations, different, not just finishes, but their texture kind of require a different method of application. And how it's going to look like really does depend on how and with what you're using it. So sometimes when you see like tutorials or reviews, the person will say, no, actually with this one, I prefer to use a brush. Well, if they're always going for full coverage, which usually like a lot of the YouTubers are going for that full coverage, they're going to see which kind of method, which is it a brush or a blender, will give them that full coverage. I don't really care either way because I don't do full coverage, so it doesn't really matter for me. But okay, so I'm good with that. So now concealer. A few things. So right now I have a broken nail, so I love that. It's so easy. So a little bit of a dewy concealer. This one is, what's the name of that brand? Glossier G8. Too dark for me, but it is the kind of pretty much the same color of my skin. So I do use the same color right under my eyes, just because I have the under eye bags and I'm in no interest of highlighting that. You can tell that plenty as it is. So just like that, just a little bit. And I do love that. I'm just waiting for them to have the G10 available online, but it's not, obviously. So then I'm gonna go with something a bit lighter. We're gonna go with vanilla. It's the same thing, Born to Glow from NYX. I actually love these. So now everybody are fans of these little sponges. I am. What I don't like about sponges is the twist offs. But you have to twist the product, because you twist, 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 nothing comes off, and suddenly everything comes off. You just gotta squeeze it. I appreciate that. I have a bit more control. So when it's lighter, I apply it right on the border of my bags and more on the corner and down, and then a little bit to the temples. Sometimes I kind of add a little bit here, depends on how dark my foundation looks like. But again, I don't do the highlighting to the extreme. Obviously you can always tell that I'm wearing makeup, I'm not hiding that, but I don't like makeup that looks like, man, you're wearing a lot of makeup. So I don't like that, for me at least. To each their own, but it's not for me. All right, just kind of blend everything out. And here, same thing. I do prefer to blend my concealers with a finger. Sometimes I'll go with a beauty blender or a brush, but at the end, I always use my finger. Okay, so I'm always trying to keep the lighter, again, kind of underneath, but then again, with a finger, I just kind of want everything to be blended. Just making sure there's no creases on my eyelid. All right, so that's pretty much it. Now, in terms of, again, to each their own, but I kind of set my foundation and everything only towards the absolute end. So I let the products set down with all my skincare, with my personal skin, and it takes a while for the product, even when you apply it and it's dewy, doesn't mean that it's going to finish up as dewy as it is when you applied it. So I really let everything kind of do its thing. And then towards the end, I know where to actually set it and how much. So you never over powder. Sometimes I don't even need to set it because I'm just like, yeah, I'm happy where it is. Maybe a little bit on the under eye for the concealer and that's it. And even that, not always. So that's kind of for me, and I would recommend that method or approach for dry skin, okay? And skin with texture. All right, so for now, I'm happy. So moving on for the rest. So for this, we're gonna do the bronzer. I love anything that is cream. I know some people find it difficult to work with. So for those and who are wanting to try, I would recommend the Milk. All of their products, the bronzers and the blushes, are very easy to work with. When you apply it, it looks pigmented, right? But it's so easy to blend them. And I don't want to say blending into nothing, but potentially you can. And I kind of prefer products that I have a lot of variety and control with, like I can shear them out, I can build them up. I really am not a fan of products that I'm really scared to kind of do anything with because they're so intense. So, plus in terms of like just the way it is, travel friendly, but you can go straight on the skin. You can go with the brush and then on the skin. So multiple ways. And this color, by the way, that's Baked. And I really like that one. So I'm blending this upwards. And again, for dry skin, or if you want that kind of glowy, natural look, or no makeup kind of appearance, anything that is cream is just gonna look a lot better on the skin, because again, a powder, you can tell, this kind of merges everything together with your foundation, with your skin. It just kind of, what's the word? Seamless? I don't know. Trying new products on my hair as well. Well, not new, I already had them. It's just been a while since I used them like a custard. I use like all of them, gels, mousses, but I always use something like that with like oils and all of that, but just to kind of give the curls a bit more definition. So right now I'm kind of went back to one of the custards that I have. See what's gonna happen. And then whatever I have left, I always go like on the cheeks and a little bit on the nose, because again, like you can do the very structured application like bronzer, blush, highlight, everything is really precise. And it looks good, it looks great. I personally don't like it on myself. I like more of a natural look. It complements me a little bit better and my personality, I think. That's the thing with makeup, like it has to match your personality. When I was going through aesthetic school, so we also went through makeup classes, and we had a few girls that were, I think like one of them used to work for MAC or something like that, and she did a beautiful job, but all of her looks were identical. Like she had her thing, and that's why she didn't want to work as a makeup artist, because customers, God forbid, they have their own kind of look that they're asking for. And she was not about that. She's like, this is what I do, and this is what you're gonna get. And they were upset. Well, of course they're upset. You're working for them. They're paying you, not vice versa. But either way, but I feel like you really wanna match the makeup to the person. So if right now you're seeing everybody's doing the same brows, the same kind of look, the same highlights, the same, you know, baking, everything, it doesn't mean that that's all that there is in makeup and that's the only methods and techniques and looks. There's an ocean full of options. So if you're kind of like wanting to step into makeup or explore more, don't be afraid. There's a lot of more than just what's like hot right now, and what's hot is going to change and it's going to be something else. All right, so what do I want to do next? So next, let's do highlight. So this one is, who is this? This is from Flush, I don't know, either way, Pinky. So actually with this one, I want to work with a little stippling brush. This is one is from e.l.f. It broke, but for the purpose of highlights, it actually is perfect. So just a little bit on the side. It actually looks beautiful. I love it's natural, but it's there. Like, I love natural, but I don't like when it's so natural. It's almost like, where is it? Did you even apply anything? So that's kind of not my purpose. A little bit more. So certain stick products, and you will kind of see which one does what, but some of them you can really go free and apply on top of your foundation, like the Milk one is just so creamy, just smooths right on top, and you can actually feel it. That one, I feel like it's much better to go with a brush than going straight on, in my opinion. I don't know. All right, so I want to do some blush. This one is just from Tarte, Celebrated. It's just a very neutral pink, nothing too demanding, nothing dominant. And again, just everything is looking very natural, very, I always do this with a blush, whatever is left. Same thing, just to kind of make sure everything looks put together, not put together, kind of like a wash of everything. We're not done with the skin yet though. Going back to bronzer, because again, I don't like bronzer, blush, highlight. I just don't like that. So I'm going to use this one. This one is from Bare Minerals Invisible Bronzer. Now, I tried something from this line. I think it was also a bronzer or a highlight, or maybe the trio. They had a trio. I returned it because it was so invisible. Like, it was literally like, where is it? I don't need that in my life. But I got this color. This one is dark to deep. Right? But because it's so light and very invisible, but because of this color, it is visible on me. So I really like it. It has a bit of a sheen and a glow, kind of that healthy look. And it's more on the redder side for sure, which I feel is very kind of natural for, you know, that not a burn, not a sunburn, but when you actually been in the sun for a while, it kind of gives you that bit more of like redness. I know it's not healthy, but that's why I'm using makeup to create that look, okay? And not actually doing that by burning my skin. Yay for makeup. So I am using a dual fiber brush because, again, is it invisible? Yes. Is it really dark? Yes. So we're going kind of light on it. So I'd rather build more and not be like, oh, damn. So again, with anything that is, so because everything is dewy on my skin, so when you're going to go with something very deep or a powder, when you apply it, you are running a chance of like patches, just because a powder can stick to that area because of all the dew. So again, these kind of brushes are really helpful when you're not going in hard, but you're kind of like going really light, or again, kind of the cream products, because they're just gonna blend with that dewy foundation versus a powder, or again, something invisible. It's great. No one can tell. All right, and more for the highlight. So we're going super old school. Really old school, I know. I just love this highlight. It's just that perfect classic champagne. It's just always looks great on the skin. Like, I love a highlight that you can tell, but I don't like the, you know, you can see me from space kind of. I don't need that. Not my thing. But I do like a highlight that is definitely there. And that's it for me. I have a lot of different products, but for some reason highlights, I mean, I have a good amount, but I don't have like a shit ton of them. Because it's like, if I nailed my colors and finishes, like, I'm good. All the rest I'm really curious about more. All right, so I have that. So right now I just want to do something on my eyelid just to kind of set the primer. So we're just gonna go with a really fluffy brush. Let's go with this one. Sure, what are you? Morphe? I have a lot of Morphe. I do love their brushes. Not a fan of their eyeshadows lately. I don't know what they did. So this one is from Bare Minerals. It's one of their loose eyeshadow. Which color is this one? Bahamas. It has like a pinky, oh, it's just gorgeous. And again, this one you can pack it on and it will be a lot more pigmented, or you can kind of shear it out, and it's just, oh, it's just beautiful. I really like this. When I moved here, so I was, you know, the fiancé visa. Yeah, they didn't do a show about me. Good. But I remember, like, when I was planning the wedding, but you know, like, makeup artists and everything, and I was looking at the prices. I'm like, $120 for somebody just to put makeup on me? Like, I know how to do makeup. So I took my $120 and got makeup. So because I was kind of new here, I didn't really know all the brands and everything. So I just went for Bare Minerals. And I got a few of these of their, like, the powder foundation and these kind of eyeshadows, and I love them. I still have a few from even back then, which was like 8 years ago. First of all, listen, it's a mineral powder, so it doesn't expire, and they are stunning. They are absolutely stunning. They're a pain in the butt to use because, you know, a little pot and powder, but I mean, this is just gorgeous in my opinion. I don't know if you can tell, but it has this sheen and it's kind of like that pinky undertone. It's beautiful. I love them a lot. So, you know, quarantine, shopping my stash, I was like, oh, I missed you guys. So we're united again. All right, so now, because I want a really light kind of look for once, for a change. So I have a few Z palettes. This is my neutrals. Ready? It's an ocean of neutrals. A few warms, but that's about it. Every neutral fan there, they're like, oh my God, I love it. I love it too. So what I do love about single eyeshadows, when you create a Z palette, every single shadow that you put, you know you love. So when you get a palette, you know, looking at it and swatching it, you love it, but you're always gonna have a few that you're struggling with to blend them. You're not quite sure about the pigment. You're just like, huh. So when you create your own, you love everything. You love everything. And even when people are like, well, this looks the same as this, you're like, it is not. This is more beigey, and this is more neutral, and this has a pinky undertone, and this has a cool undertone. And they look in the pan identical, but when you put on the eye, it's completely different. And I believe you, because I know that. They are different. I'm just like defending my palette right now, okay? So we're gonna go with a really light shade. Which one are we gonna start with? So we're gonna probably do, I'm gonna do this one in the corner and this one, okay? So the one in the corner, just to kind of put it almost kind of more, not going precise. I'm just kind of going ham with it. All over, windshield motions, just kind of giving a little bit more shape and dimension to my hooded eye. You see, kind of, it's already kind of given a little bit more color and depth. Now that's the purpose, like I'm not doing no smoky, no nothing crazy. Like with this kind of look, I really just want to wear like a florally dress. But you know, No one's going anywhere, so what's the point? We're gonna stick with my stripes. Okay. Going to that other shade, which is a bit darker. So I'm still using, because again, I'm not doing nothing precise, same brush. But here I'm just kind of like sticking to a certain area, a little bit more. Maybe a little bit for the corner. And flicking it up a little bit. A little bit kind of on the brow, you see? So it's very, again, very light, very neutral, but it's giving you that slight definition of the eye. I like this look. I don't know, yesterday I did that. I was like, oh, that's so cute. All right, same thing on this side. So again, because I have hooded eyes, I kind of go right here. And then I open and kind of do the little corner just to bring things a little bit more upward and define it and create a mimic a crease that ain't there. I wish I had, you know, maybe one day. I have a plan when I'm 40. I want to do like eyelid surgery. Like, listen, this is genetic. I was an exhausted 8-year-old. I checked my my kidneys, and my kidneys. This is just fat because, you know, nature is very nice like that. Just gives you fat in all the wrong places. So for me, it's the under eye. It's great. I love it. Now, because usually I wear glasses, and one of the reasons I never wanted to get LASIK, well, first of all, is my prescription is perfect for when I'm reaching 40. But it's also because when I wear glasses, you can barely tell that I have these under eye bags. But since I started doing these videos, I'm just like, oh, God damn it. Oh, I am so aware of them. All right, so I feel like we're kind of good with this part. I like it. I don't want to go too much with that. All right, putting the brush away and maybe a little bit on the inner corner just to kind of lighten that area. I have a few, not as many as you would think, a few shades here. So we're just gonna go for those ones. Again, nothing too intense. I really love kind of like satin shimmers. I love them. They're just so forgiving and so here I can really tell my highlight. Not a bad thing, but when you feel like it's not exactly what you were going for, like I just take a really big fluffy brush and kind of do one of these. And this is honestly, this brush, this is all I use it for. Kind of go like that. I kind of removed a lot of it, didn't I? Let's go back with the bronzer. That's why I like this kind of bronzer, the invisible one. And the redness, like if you shear it out, it's almost like a blush. Well, the warmth of it, at least. All right, so that's all good. Now, just to kind of give it a bit more of a clean look, I'm gonna put like a brown eyeliner and do my eyebrows. And okay, so I'm just gonna be like in the middle. You see the difference? So you see like how my eyebrows, they're not just the lighter color, but they're so sparse because, I mean, I never had thick eyebrows. I always wanted, but I never did. And then with pregnancy and birth and hormones, like, you know, things change. So what a huge difference. That's why, like, when you're in a rush or when I'm just like getting to work and I'm being late or just, you know, couldn't be bothered, tinted moisturizer, eyebrows, bronzer, mascara. But like, you gotta do the brows. This is a necessity. So right now I'm using the Milani Pomade. What color is that one? 05, dark brown. So my favorite is by Anastasia. Like I tried a few. I want to try the one from Maybelline. but for some reason the one from Anastasia, and I don't mind when they're dry, I actually almost like them dry, but the one from Anastasia just has the most pigment and the texture, just everything. But it's, and I get it, like it's $23, and for me personally, it lasts easily over a year, like 2 years even. And I know how to kind of renew, refresh them, but still, like I kind of, it's like my backup. If everything goes wrong, like I know what I need, but I want to try something that isn't like crazy expensive all the time. Like I do love finding things in the drugstore that give you pretty much the same look and same result, if not identically, than on a higher end. So if I can save my money somewhere, like certain things, if they really look completely different and my skin is just amazing and it helps and it creates a very big difference, I will invest. But even that, like I have like a certain X amount of dollar limit, then it's like, I don't care how amazing you are. Like, no. But so, oh, my hair is becoming nice and stiff. Great. Okay, so I'll continue and I'll come back in a moment. I'm back. All right, so eyebrows are done. Just for kind of reference, eyeliner, the brown one, I use one from Tarte. I love this one. I had it in black. This one is in brown. So there is a big difference, in my opinion, using something like this or a pen versus a pomade. I feel like just the application, and it does depend also on the brush you're using, but it kind of creates that almost like a smudge on its own. So it's not super precise, even though with the black one I could make it like extremely precise with a specific brush, like a very thin one. But that's kind of what I like about products like this. You can really do whatever you want, and the one from Tarte is amazing. It's so pigmented, it doesn't budge, it's incredible, it doesn't dry out. Like my black one lasted me for like 2.5 years, and it was the same as when I purchased it. So it was incredible. Highly recommend. With the eyebrows, I'm not upset with the one from Milani. I'm not. But I wish it was, I don't know, either like dark. I just have these like areas of, you know, lack of the brow itself. So I feel like when it's kind of like hitting your skin, it's just, I don't know, it's just, it's hard to build up pigmentation there. So that's why I want to try the Milani. They have like the tattoo one that doesn't move. So I want to see if at least like for those areas I can use something like that and kind of build a little bit more pigment there. So that's that. And for mascara, okay, like I'm struggling with mascara sometimes. I tried a few high-end, for example, from Tarte. All of the mascara I really don't like. I find them to be very dry. The Too Faced, the whole like Better Than Sex, it was really not Better Than Sex. I'm sorry. Like maybe donuts are better than sex, but that's about it. But it was flaky and kind of like, I really didn't like it. So a lot of the times the high-end ones, if I like them, it's because they're good, but they're the same as what I can get on the drugstore or worse. So at this point, I'm just like, I'll just stick to drugstore. But even there, you gotta look. Sometimes it's a, you know, it's a fail, but at least it's, you know, like a $5 fail versus a $40 fail. So I'll take that. But right now, the one that I use is Rimmel London Wonderfully Fully Real with keratin. Oh, cool. This one, dang it, I love it. There's also one from Milani, highly rated, and there's one from Maybelline that I also really love. But this one, so usually I go for more like the bristly kind of spoolies applicators. This one is the silicone spiky one. Again, that's why like the CoverGirl, I don't like their stuff, but this one is amazing. I also love when this kind of shape wider here and kind of narrows down. Reminds me of the It Cosmetics Warrior Hero, something like that. This mascara is wonderful. The formula itself, the spoolie, love. It separates, elongates, volume, and you know sometimes you want to go back with another layer and it's already dry and crunchy and it's just kind of becomes a big mess. Not with this one. I love that. Big yay. All right, a little trick that I have on how to clean up mascara. So people with like the, you know, like eyelids like mine, they're kind of heavy. It's hard to apply mascara and not get it in there. Like I don't curl my eyelashes, by the way. Like I will get And I try different curlers. I'll get this side looking good, and this one is always like something's happening there, and it's just like it's a mess. So I gave up on that, but I use a little spoolie and just kind of right where it is, and that's it. It's so easy. You don't have to wait for the mascara to dry out. It doesn't remove your eyeshadow. It's fantastic, fantastic little trick. Okay, so the only thing that is lacking is the lip. Let's do lip. I want to use eyeliner, so lip liner, sorry. I'm not big on lip liners. I have a few, and all of them I made sure they're completely different colors, unlike my lipsticks, foundations, and all of that. I have a lot of repetition, but with things that I don't like use all the time, like I need diversity versus repetition. So I'm just gonna go with this NYX. What is this one? Lip liner. I know you're a lip liner. What color are you? Peekaboo Natural. Okay, it's like a pinky nude. I kind of like it. Again, it's nothing, I don't know, earth-shattering, but the ones that I do love and I do repurchase, okay, those ones I do use are from Milani. I don't know, there's something about that formula and those colors that I adore, and I do love the ones you have to sharpen. I don't know, it's the old school in me, but I kind of like it. It's almost like driving like a manual, I don't know, but it's like you're more involved, you know, and you can tell how much you actually have left. Okay, so I don't really like overline. I just go right to where it is. I feel like that's kind of like, I don't go over it. So I feel like I have enough lips as it is. And my lips do have those kind of lines and textures. So back in my day, back then, what's her name? Angelina Jolie, right? So I feel like she started the whole like big lip thing. But her lips, she has kind of that texture that I do. So we were actually creating those kind of lines, not just only for the pout, but also to kind of create that texture. So, you know, like those vertical lines that sometimes people still do even now. But I don't know, like right now it's all about that Kylie Jenner, fake filler, smooth, giant, you know what I'm talking about, kind of lip. Working lip. Oh, did I say that out loud? Shh. My bad. My bad. It's a good lip. It's a good look. I tried to do a filler once, just to kind of like, just a little bit. It went so wrong. So I don't know, like, cause my doctor, he did like nerve blocker on me, and it's not like I never had dental work and I had the same, but for some reason I had a horrible reaction. My entire face here just blew up. It was bad for like 2 weeks. I looked like something really bad happened to me, like a bee sting, and like 1,000 bees just attacked my face. It was not good. It was not good. But the lips were cute, but again, like you couldn't really tell because I already have enough lips. So, all right, so going on with a very nude lipstick on repeat. This is from Dose of Colors. I honestly have from Dose of Colors about 3 that look very, very similar. This is just like, that's why I don't repurchase more lip products, because I like the same stuff and I already have it. So, and more matte, like the powders and stuff like that, they're coming out, like I just don't like it because it's just drying and it's just a gimmick. I don't need that. So anything that is matte, I already have. So same thing. But I just like these little pinky nude mauve dusty rose. I'm still not sure, by the way, between taupe and mauve. So I think taupe is more on the purpley cool side and mauve is more on that dusty rose. I'm assuming. Not sure. Not sure. But okay, so this is the look. Excuse my peculiar hair today. And it's not giving me the volume that I like, but I did use a new shampoo and conditioner that I wasn't sure if I did like or not, but I use it again and I do. So it was the product that I used on my scalp before that I didn't like. But that's it. So it kind of, like you see, it's very fresh, it's very natural, even though we went with a lot of different steps and a lot of products. But everything is kind of like meshing in together and it just looks nice and glowy and just very youthful. I feel like this look is very kind of like, I feel like my soul, like I feel 27. Which I'm not going to tell you my age, but 27 is not it. So I wish it was, but it wasn't, but it's not. So, all right, well, that's it for today. This might be the only, not the only, but the first tutorial that I'll put out there. Like tutorials for makeup, I feel like it's the most hard thing to do on YouTube. I don't know. And I have no idea still how to edit. Like, somewhat I know how to, but like not the professional editing. I don't even have a professional camera. I'm doing it on my phone, so excusez-moi. But that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Take a few tricks and products, and right now this is the time to experiment, people. Experiment. All right, so more to come. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.